Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for one of the cleanest CRVs, it's 10 years old, I think you'll ever see. 2.2 EX diesel, it's covered just 61,000 miles, finished in twilight blue with a black leather interior, fully serviced from new. As I said, it's been kept absolutely beautifully. Apologise, it's a little bit windy today, so I'm hoping you can hear me okay. Coming around the front of the car, very clean, lights and lenses clear, intact, there's no cracks or condensation in them. Bonnet is exceptionally clean, can't see a stone chip anywhere on there at all. Near side of the car, absolutely mirror smooth in the panel work, can't see a single indentation. Always really good. It's been washed off but not polished, and it's, as I say, incredibly clean, I have to say. Around the back of the car, again, lovely and clean. It's just got a real crispness to it. All the panel work is absolutely fantastic. Offside of the car, again, fantastically smooth in the panels, no indentations there at all. It jumps out at me. It is a remarkably clean car. It's not to say that it's not going to be the obvious or minor mark that the camera doesn't pick up on, but it'll be very minor indeed, because as I venture to say, you're going to find anything better than that anywhere. Coming to the back of the car now, huge boot, and it's been kept absolutely beautifully. Coming to the back of the car now, wide opening rear doors, huge amounts of legroom, and leatherwork again in fantastic condition. CRVs are normally very heavily used family cars. This one's been given one of the more gentle treatments over its lifetime. Coming to the front of the passenger side, again very clean and tidy. Likewise, passenger seat, really nice condition. Finally come to the driver's door card, again very clean and tidy. Footwell areas again lovely and clean, full set of mats in the car. The driver's seat for a 10-year-old car, absolutely fantastic. Inside the car now, as always, got the engine running, so the dash can be seen illuminated, which looks pretty much like new. Sat nav, you can see working exactly as it should. Let's pop the car into reverse, you've got that lovely clear gridded parking camera. And that's the dash vertical. So these have put the mileage up so you can see it. 61,015 miles. And there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. It is a beauty, this one. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel. This car is registered RE13BAO. Our mileage at the start of the road test is 61,008 miles. The reason we do all of our videos, and actually especially this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the very car advertised actually in operation. The reason we feel it's important is simply because we know to our cost how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in photographs or description, only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive the car. So hence that's why we do it. So coming to the car, literally just arrived with us. It's been very well maintained vehicle. It's due to go in for a service with us as soon as I finish doing this. But fundamentally, we knew it was good already. We've already tried it. But going through the usual things, starting with the engine, push button start. Engine starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car actually. Temperature gauge running into third, which is exactly where the car is meant to be on a car, and the car's been running for well over an hour now, having been driven to us. The engines are simply brilliant diesel engines. On the move, they're smooth and quiet for a diesel. But what I love about the 2.2s is that they're such a flexible engine. Some of the smaller capacity diesels, they might be, as powerful, if not more powerful than this. They're kind of lure you into thinking they're more powerful than they are, because they've got much smaller power bands. This one pulls from just over tick over, just churns its way through, if you need to the red line, not that you really want to, but all of the power is available pretty much the whole time. Very little in terms of any kind of lag to the engine. Others, they go off with a great thrust and then just die away really quickly, so you're up and down the gearbox like a yo-yo, whereas this one you can row it along. Generally you're in sort of 6th gear, is 50 miles an hour and below, and it'll pull really hard. But lovely engine to use, so lovely and quiet. Cam chain driven, there's no cam belts to worry about on Honda cars, so there's no scheduled service ever for them. And as with pretty much every Honda engine, they've got a reputation for being incredibly tough and reliable over the long term, as long as you just do good regular maintenance on them. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox on the car. Clutch absolutely perfect, nice and smooth in operation, bites perfectly, so all good there. Gearbox, 6-speed manual gearbox. What I've always loved about the Hondas of all types, Honda make an effort to make every part of the car that you touch, move, operate, feel satisfying to use. And the one you're going to use most commonly, probably after the steering wheel of course, is the gear lever, apart from your pedals. And the gear lever, first of all, it's positioned perfectly, just there, so you're not it's not down or up or across, wherever it wants to be. It's just literally your hand falls onto it. The centre armrest here goes forward in a couple of notches, so for those with different arm positions you can change position, but naturally your elbow rests on there and you just slot the gears in. But the gear change is brilliant. It's much more like a kind of something you'd expect in a much sportier car than this. The quality of the gear change is better than anything that's classed by a mile. It's short, it's snappy, it's beautifully defined in the way it changes gear. That's how a gearbox should be done, and that feels exactly as it would have done when it was new. It's just as tight as a drum, really is. Coming to the steering and chassis of the car, first and foremost, the steering track's dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. Power steering system's really, really good on these cars. Again, my pet hate with lots of cars is power steering. They put overlight, so that makes them feel, they're fine for manoeuvring around, but when you are on the open road, they can just feel disconnected, disjointed, lifeless, all the things I hate. And this is the opposite. It's really well done. The weighting's perfect, makes the car feel very solid and secure on the road. But it's also really accurate and works with the chassis brilliantly well. And I'm timed that perfectly, because we're going to go down a lovely little section of road which is windy, which basically, if you're in something of this type of car, it's quite often they can be ponderous. They don't want to change direction, and they can sort of keel over when you go through the corners. This road is interesting, to say the least. It's winds and snakes. It goes off camber, but minimal steering input. Body control is absolutely brilliant, and it's really important for passengers, particularly who might not be concentrating. So you're getting far less body roll from the car. Like I said, I'm going through here a little quicker than I would ordinarily do, but it just deals with it absolutely brilliantly, and yet still manages to give a really comfortable, compliant ride. It's it's almost like the unsung hero of the car. It's not to say it's a sports car, because it is definitely not, but what it is far, far better and more capable than the Motoring Press would ever give it credit for. They always say, it's a bit boring, it's a bit this. Well, it's not meant to be a sports car. It's not designed to be. What it is designed to be is what it's just done there. Absolutely superb at taking you through corners at sensible speeds, or even slightly above that, but with just brilliant body control. It is superb. Incidentally, absolutely no rattles or clonks coming from underneath the car, so all rock solid in that respect. I'll just give the brakes a bit of a thump when I get onto the straight ahead in a second. This is a lovely bit of road, I have to say. Make sure no one's behind me. Get the ABS to cut in. It's really good brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for is, good initial bite, but there shouldn't be any kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the pedal, and there's none at all. It's absolutely spot on. Finally coming inside, as I've said, the car's just arrived, so it's not been cleaned yet, although it is very clean in here, I have to say. And as with all CRVs, beautifully put together, no squeaks or rattles, just a wonderfully solidly made car, but also a lovely place to sort of sit and drive. You've got brilliant visibility, helped by these huge wing mirrors here, so sort of lane changes and things like that are really nice. But I can actually see a bonnet, which is almost a miracle in this day and age. But a very easy car to place. Everyone that drives CRVs get out, quite often they get intimidated initially and come out saying it's one of the easiest cars they've ever driven, and the visibility is part of that. The rest of the dash design is, although very, very well equipped, is incredibly simple to sort of navigate your way through and to operate. Sat nav, as you can see, working absolutely perfectly. Dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you so wish. Again, working exactly as they should. That pumps out lovely cold air. We did try that earlier. Heated seats again work exactly as they should as well. Dash binnacle front, simple, legible dials, beautifully presented as Honda always do. Just a class act. And again, it's almost minimalist by modern standards, and all the better for it. Then you've got this lovely small diameter leather-bound steering wheel, which feels fantastic in hand, and it's in really, really good condition in here, I have to say. It's been very, very well looked after. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CRV, albeit there's no buttons to press, because Honda worked out very, very quickly that 99% of their people driving the cars will be driving as I am today, where you don't need four-wheel drive on. So basically the car runs in front-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, pretty much the whole time, and that's the most efficient way to pull any car along. Only if it needs to go into four-wheel drive will it do so, and it does it itself, and it does it via the traction control system. So if you were to pull away on sort of snow, mud or ice or something similar, it would instantly and seamlessly bring in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive, and it is incredibly effective. We tow a caravan with ours and never come close to getting stuck with it. I always say that, I can't help myself, but there we are, it's factual, I suppose. Also, its lack of use gives it its inherent reliability as well. They are incredibly tough in that respect. I genuinely can't remember ever putting a spanner on the four-wheel drive system on one of these. Also, of course, you're going to save fuel. You're not going to get through your tyres as quickly, and as I mentioned, it's going to put far less mechanical stress through the vehicle as well. So, all in all, a fantastic system. As I said at the start, the point is brief. It's just to show the car operating and feedback on anything, of which there's nothing at all. Drives absolutely perfectly.